realized as I grow older, there is this element of when my friends turn 30, they become lactose intolerant. Oh, I don't take milk these days, you know. But the milk value chain is one of the value chains that was so disrupted. Just looking over the past 10, 15 years, there's been reforms. First of all, Ken, what potential lies in there? And factor in the aspect of that we import a lot of our milk. Can we do better as a country?
Absolutely. The dairy industry, as the deputy governor there said, contributes significantly to the economy. About 4% of our GDP is driven by the dairy sector. So it's a significant part of the economy and creates a lot of jobs, both in the city and in the rural areas. I think one of the brilliant things that happened under the Moi administration was, you remember the maziwa ya Nyayo, that milk that used to be delivered, I think, every Friday to schools. What that did was it inculcated dairy diet at a very early age. So today, Kenya is one of the largest consumers of dairy products in Africa. And we're talking of not just milk, but talked about cheese and ice cream. So it's a major market. In fact, the regional producers, such as Uganda and Rwanda, produce primarily for the Kenyan market. So it tells you also the importance of inculcating this in the diets of people at a very early age, so they grow with it. Now, moving forward, obviously, it needs lots of reforms need to be done. The Dairy Act is very outdated. I think it needs to be modernized. But by all means, Kenya can be a massive player in the dairy, not just Kenya, but globally.
Definitely. Prof, you know, we should assume that when you talk about milk, that should be something at the heart of the universe, since we are the Milky Way galaxy, you know? I've waited to say that joke, by the way, for a very long time, and today's the perfect opportunity for that. But, Prof, when you think about it, the dairy sector, now we are talking about creating or having an economy that is export-driven, that is one, but also there is huge pressure to create jobs. What potential lies in this particular sector?
You know, the dairy sector is critical in terms of the health, as Ken has put it. Many people, in terms of health, nutrition, dairy is key. When you have, for example, right now, what we need is to ensure that we revive and ensure that the laws that are governing dairy industry are up to date, but also it will amount to reaching out to very many people that will actually want the product. So dairy expansion will benefit more in terms of employment.
Okay.
But I think it's also good to ensure that we look at the breeds, the type of breeds that we are having, because you see different parts of Kenya require different breeds of dairy. Yeah, so I think when that is done, that will actually ensure that we get more from the dairy industry.
Yeah, you're able to optimize. That's very interesting. Really like that. Now, let's move to Martins Fintech. Safaricom, M-Pesa Africa, and Sumitomo Corporation have launched a 3-month accelerator program targeting fintech and content startups. While launching the accelerator program, which aims at accelerating early-stage startups to grow and scale their businesses, Safaricom announced calls for tech startups looking to join the program. The call for applications will run from the 12th January to 16th February 2024. The 3-month accelerator program will provide a blend of training, mentorship, funding, and go-to-market support to spark the growth and scale of venture that comes into the accelerator. And also, the accelerator will take an ecosystem-based approach to identify and accelerate the startups by leveraging a team of experts who understand market dynamics and emerging tech for innovation. And Ken, I've mentioned accelerator and startups almost 1 million times just in that particular script. 2024, I know later on you shall be giving us your detailed outlook for the year 2024, but I'm trying to think. The startup ecosystem is reflective of how innovative a country is. For Kenya, as it stands, did we do well in 2023? And even with 2024, what opportunities lie therein for the startup sector?
That's an incredible question, Noah. Indeed, fintechs and the startup community can drive the innovative capacity of a country. I think the challenge we've had is sometimes the innovators are not as connected to what you call the real economy as much. So if you're in fintech, maybe you're just thinking of, I'll just do a lending app to whoever. But back to the education system we talked about of critical thinking and application. You know, we've talked about dairy farmers being big players in this economy. So is there somebody thinking of a fintech that targets how dairy farmers get paid when they take their proceeds to the cooperatives? Or if a dairy farmer doesn't have the money but needs to buy feeds and medicine, do we have a fintech that can score a dairy farmer, give him credit, and is able to go to the agrovet to get? So I think that's back to the education system, how to tie in various things. I think we do well in silos, but I think what has been lacking is that ability to now tie things to the real economy. Otherwise, you just end up coming up with solutions that are not really useful for the broader part. So I think that's a challenge the startup community has to tackle. How do we connect with the real economy where ordinary people are?
Definitely. I like that. Prof, you know, there's this funny thing that we normally see when we reference startups. Or, you know, Mark Zuckerberg is a dropout. And also Bill Gates is a dropout. We always ask, where did they drop out from? Yeah, that is the most important question. But the academic system seems to be a critical pillar when it comes to innovation. Yeah, I've seen spaces like in Kenyatta University, there's the Chandaria Institute, which was this hub where kids will go with good ideas and be able to bring out something. Do you think, are we maximizing that best of higher learning institutions, our TVET institutions, to be sort of the foundations that could be able to we can anchor our startup ecosystem on?
Noah, right now, even where I am at Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, there is a lot of innovation that is going on at the university. What is lacking is the linkage with the industry and also the government, because there's a lot that is going on that can actually be taken care of, and so many things happen. Like in JKUAT, we even have the production of these insects. They are called what? The cricket. You know, many things. You can eat cricket biscuits when you come to JKUAT. And many other innovations in the dairy and in very many other sectors. The only thing is that the industry needs to combine with the academics. That is what happens abroad, and I think in the US there is a lot of collaboration between the industry and the academia. So I think in Kenya that is what we did. We can't blame academic institutions for not innovating. Innovation is very present. If you go to any of our leading universities, I've given you an example of JKUAT, KU, you'll actually get innovation taking place and also training. So it is the industry to leverage on this and ensure that we are able to reach out to the market and the whole country. And I think the government also need to up the game in terms of what is given towards research and innovation. We have, but we have very little. Yeah,
that's very important.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, we want to take a short break. Ideally, yeah, in an ideal situation, during this break, we should have been taking, cricket biscuits. You know, I didn't know there's cricket biscuits.
Yes,
man.
there is.
That's interesting. Next time.
And even the snail, you can paint snail on your eyes now, and you look very well.
Hey.
Take what we do that. Just come, we do snail farming also.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And those are the spaces, I think, emerging spaces that even people who want to innovate can step in, and they interlink into other ecosystems like agriculture and whatnot. That's quite interesting, man. You know, when I went to Jeko, I was just taking, they have this waru, they boil very nicely, then they break it, add kachumbari in the middle. You know, you are telling me, crickets, that's another level, man. That's 2024 level. So we take a short break right here on Business Today. When you come back, we are looking at what 2024 has and portends for Kenya, and we'll be having specific pointers and outlook from our panelists. Stay tuned right here on Business Today. Return with more.